You're all welcome in Griffon Show. Great to have you with us as we rock and roll. And, of course, Brandon, we got it loaded up today. And Brandon asked me when we got in here, any guess? I said, I don't think so.
Yeah. We only have
three
4 or
now.
5.
Yeah, only 3. Brandon does that all the time. He says, I love Open Forum Friday. I said, why? He said, because I said, you have the most guests when you act like you're never going to have any guests. And I said, Brandon, just whatever. He picks on me all the time. And I'm such a innocent There you go. Innocent mood.
Yeah.
Jady Regard's going, now what the hell am I doing on this program? Jady Regard, Cane River Pecans. And by the way, got another great giveaway again today. And by the way, it's great to see you. Look great. Man. You look pumped up.
It's pecan season, man. The midterms are behind us. We got pecans coming off the trees. People getting ready for the holidays. Corporate gifting is in the air. What's it not to be excited about?
No, and by the way, now all that's behind us. LSU, the LSU Alabama. Brandon laughs at me. LSU Alabama build up on that was worse than the election. I mean, just everything's build up.
Look, I tell you what we do. We've already put the LSU Alabama game behind us. We've already put the midterms behind us. Why don't we just build up the pecan season? We got about 6 weeks to go before holidays are here, and we're just excited. But honestly, on the pecan front, Hurricane Michael that tore through Georgia a few weeks back really did a lot of damage to the pecan industry. But we're going to make a comeback. We'll be fine. But we're having a good year, a great year, and it's just good to be in business in Louisiana right now.
Let me talk about something, too. Y'all been in business how long now?
This is our 49th year, 50 years next year.
Wow. Next
year
right around the corner. I want to talk about what y'all do for me.
Okay.
You've been doing this for a long time, and I tell people the giving, and I've been bragging every day on you, the gift of giving pecans is such a great gift. First of all, people love the product to eat them or to make candy or whatever they want to do. When Boudin Powell, we talk about that in a minute.
We'll come back to that.
But what I'm saying is, let's talk about this because people that want to really send a gift, and you got a lot of customers to give. I customize. Y'all customize with my logo on it. People brag about the pecans. There's no better pecan. But they like getting them with the gift with the logo on it. Talk a little bit about that.
They do love that. We started doing customization tins many years ago, and a few of our competitors have fallen in line since then. But it's a big part of our program where companies can call us and have their logo or have some type of holiday greeting on the tins. We probably do between 25,000 and 30,000 custom tins a year. So it's a big part of our program. We really encourage companies to consider it. Everyone loves brand awareness. Everyone loves top of mind awareness. And this is just another opportunity to do that. So customization is a big part of the program, and it will be for a long time. And it's available at Cane River. And we can be as creative with the artwork as you are. So if you want to submit a photograph or just a logo, we can do that. And we can combine those custom tins with other products that we sell. So we can make a gift as small as a $25, $30 gift all the way up to $150, $200 gift, depending on what your gifting strategy is, so to speak, right? We all got some folks that we want to take care of a little bit more, and you can do that. Let me just
say this, Jady. You give away pecans every year, and we appreciate it. The people that get them, and I know I don't forward you this, they are so excited about winning. Everybody likes to win something, but I'm going to tell you, they're more excited after they get the pecans from y'all, and they get to taste some variety of stuff that y'all do. And so the tin, I know people because people have told me, I keep the tin, I put something else in it now. So really, when you're talking about labeling it or putting your customized logo on it, people keep that kind of stuff around.
It's a reusable tin. I mean, I know you're a big fisherman, right? You might put your lures in it. You might put an old spool of a fishing line in there or whatever it may be. But they do stick around. They're a bit sticky. People will use them for things they want to collect or travel with. You can throw it in your bag if you put some cigars in it, or you can, whatever you want to do. You can use those tins for other things. They're reusable. And that's nice if you're trying to get your name of your company out there. But, everyone loves consumables, and people put logos on all sorts of things today, obviously, but it's nice to be able to get something that's consumable and still has a logo on it, and that's nice too.
Your product, I will tell you, and I'm going to brag about you because I've tasted them, I get them, and I always order me a few of the pecan halves just for Tanya to cook. We just pull them out the freezer sometime. She might put them in there and put a little salt, whatever, and roast them. And man, they're so good, look, just plain.
Down here in South Louisiana or all over the southeast United States, I mean, we have a love affair with pecans, and it's part of our lifestyle. We cook with them, we eat them naturally, we put them in favorite ingredients and heirloom recipes. And we use them a lot during Thanksgiving and Christmas because it coincides with the harvest. And that's what people love about pecans. And here in the South, we just really adore them. And so
Let's talk about new products.
New products, huh? We have some good stuff.
I told Brandon you were bringing.
Well,
something.
if you're a chocolate fan, first of all, we just came out with dark chocolate pecans, which a lot of people have been asking for years. We've got some new candies that we're selling now. A new chewy praline we sell, and we also sell a pecan cluster, which is like a pecan turtle. It's the old candy that has pecans, caramel, dipped in milk chocolate. We're selling those now. We just came out with a new pecan brittle popcorn, which is amazing. Absolutely amazing. But the big product that we came out with this year is two things. We came out with a new gift tin that's in the shape of a New Orleans streetcar, which has been very popular down in New Orleans. And we've got a lot of folks down there that are interested in it. But the big product that we're excited about, but we're not mail order shipping it yet. We're only making it available in the Acadiana area if you come to our location and pick it up, is boudin pie. And a lot of people ask me, why are you selling boudin pie?
Brandon got another question for you.
And what is boudin pie?
Why didn't you bring a boudin pie?
Well, listen, we love doing teasers in the media, right? That's the teaser. After this station break, we'll have boudin pie. Well, let me tell you what we decided to do this. We want to eventually get into the mail order pie business. It's a big business, and we want to start
and that's
shipping.
A year-round deal,
That would be a year-round deal. So we wanted to come out with our very first pie, and it had to have something that was very local, with pecans.
Oh, yeah.
And so we created a deep dish 9-inch pie that has 1.5 pounds of uncased traditional pork boudin that's made in New Iberia from a very well-known boudin maker. And we take it in and we put it in this pie shell, deep dish. We put a very thin layer of sweet potato souffle on top of that. And we coat it with a pecan praline glaze.
Wow.
It's amazing. And I tell people...
I wouldn't know. Somebody forgot to bring it.
I tell people, I said, it tastes like Thanksgiving.
Oh, wow.
Well, no, but it does. It does.
It's got rice, pork, sweet potatoes, pecans.
I'm taking that it's going to go real well. If that goes well, is that something you're going to do year-round?
Absolutely. And it's something we're going to start shipping in 2019.
That will go with the rest of the pie.
Correct. We're going to have that, and we're going to introduce a line of pecan pies, like bourbon pecan pie, chocolate pecan pie, traditional pecan pie.
When are you starting this?
Well, we're starting it now. This was our first iteration, was this boudin pie. We wanted to see if we had the capability to do it and would it taste good. And we really worked on this pie for about 7 months to really dial in and get it right. People down here know their boudin, so you can't fool people here in this part of the country.
Me and Brandon hadn't eaten yet, and it's good, huh, Brandon?
Listen, I'm telling you,
amazing.
This boudin pie is amazing. You cook it for about an hour and a half, and you buy it frozen. We'll be able to ship it frozen, and you cook it in your own oven for an hour and a half, and it really is amazing. It hits on a lot of notes, and it's a cool product. It's a mashup. It's the love child between a boudin link and a pecan tree.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I personally will drive to your place and buy one because I'm going to buy it for Thanksgiving. Well, maybe two, because I want to bring it when I go to my mom's. I want to bring that to them. I want them to taste
In all
that.
seriousness, if you're listening and you're living here in Acadiana,
coming through.
We're located in New Iberia, Cane River Pecan Company. Although it says Cane River and people think of Natchitoches, it's located in New Iberia. And we are moving to a new location in the historic district on Main Street in New Iberia. We'll be open probably as early as next week. And the boudin pies will be available to pick up there. So if you want to roll in and pick up 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 1 or 2, you can do that. You pick them up frozen, bring them home, give them out to some customers. They're going to make a great gift.
But you're hoping to start shipping next year
2019
with a lot of other different pies.
Absolutely.
That's going to be neat, Jay.
And I'll let you know about that.
That fits with y'all. And I'm sure most of the pies you're making will have pecans in it because we talk about it all the time. Really, pecans are year-round. I know this is the time of year they really harvest it, but they are. I tell you what I did. Y'all sell a pecan, just a half pecan?
Yeah.
Just plain.
Yeah, a natural half.
Well, let me tell you what y'all do. And some people may not realize this. You put it in the container, the little bag, but in the bag has the aluminum foil inside.
That's right.
Which keeps them fresh for the year. I didn't know that. My mama used to do that.
Right.
And when I opened the bag, I went, holy cow! Looks like my mama's bag because it had the aluminum foil type in it.
It's got a foil. It's got a foil coating. It's got a zip tie. It's got a Ziploc top, so you can refreeze. Pecans are great. You can take them out of the freezer, use what you need, put them back in the freezer. You can do that multiple times in a course of a year or two, and the pecans will be fine.
No, I had the reason I remember that as the last couple of nights, I don't care. Everybody does the same thing I'm doing. I still have a few pounds left, a couple of pounds left. Well, Tanya, my bride, cooked the other day, so she left this in the front freezer. So I've been opening, grabbing my hand and digging some out, eating them cold.
There you go.
And guess what?
They're good.
They still taste fresh. That's what blew my mind. I said, Tanya, taste these. She said, I know. They still taste fresh.
Well, the freezer.
That's 1 year later.
Yeah, pecans.
1 year later.
They hold well in freezers. They do exceptionally well.
What other... you don't have to mention them all. Then go. I know you got a catalog if people want to talk about that. Talk about the website, and then talk about some of the other products that you have that you want people to know about.
Of course, we've got our traditional pecan halves. We sell two types. We sell a desirable half, which is a very large pecan, and we sell an Elliott half, which is a great little pecan that was first discovered in 1920s in the Panhandle of Florida. It's a small round pecan about the size of a nickel, and they are fantastic to snack on. They're called Elliott pecans, and we sell them. We sell thousands of pounds of these Elliots every year. And, of course, our trio, that's our 10 that we sell with the 3 flavors. That's been a perennial favorite for many, many, many years. It's got praline pecans, milk chocolate pecans, and roasted pecans.
What a roasted.
See,
and
for me, I like to try all the different ones, but for my wife, it's all about the white chocolate one.
Your wife and I would be good friends. That's my favorite one.
It's all about the white chocolate.
But I tell you this.
Last year when he brought us white chocolate, we fought over him.
Listen, I'm going to tell you this, too. And another big seller for us is our pecan cookies have really done well. And we've got one particular cookie that's a butter pecan, and it is lights out.
Oh, my God. Look, you got him cheering for it. Hey, the only reason Rob listened to the program is because you were coming on to talk about pecans. Look, let me take a break and keep you a few more minutes.
Yes.
I know Kyle Ondwan's going to join us. He was one of the leaders in the Secretary of State's office. We got him coming on, and so let's take a break. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. We'll take a break and be right back. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. Jady Regard with me, Cane River Pecans, and yes, we're giving away some more. We'll be right back. You all, welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. Love talking pecans. I love Louisiana companies. And Kyle Ondwan will visit with us coming out of the bottom of the hour. I kept Jady around to make him feel guilty for not bringing Brandon something to eat. Anyway.
I'm telling you, it's a tough show.
He constantly says my name, but...
truth be known.
Yeah.
You know I never eat on the program.
No,
Mood's never missed a boudin pie in his life.
Yeah.
Well, I ain't going to start by the one you just described. I can tell you.
Listen.
Anyway, Cane River Pecans.
Cane River and I want to give the people the address to find us. Yeah. Cane River Pecans, obviously we're online, and that's a big part of our business model these days, but CaneRiverPecan.com, and that's Cane, C-A-N-E, like the Cane River that runs through Natchitoches Parish. But CaneRiverPecan.com is the website, and the phone number is 800-293-8710. And again, that number is 800-293-8710. We've got a beautiful 24-page catalog.
That was the one I was going to tell you. It's white. It looks really good.
You can call. We'll send it to you. Get on our mailing list. We only send out about 2 or 3 catalogs a year, so we're not going to bombard you. But you can also go online and put your address in for the catalog as well. Yeah,
my brother is I can't keep the pralines when I bring them in. I better take mine out.
We have a new praline I want to introduce you to. It's a chewy praline now. So we have a creamy and a chewy.
The creamy is chewy.
Well, the creamy is chewy, but this is even more chewy than the creamy. So I'm going to have to bring a basket full of stuff here next week.
We're going to be real upset. Huh?
We're going to come back before the holidays for show.
No, we want you to, but and it's a thing about it. But I want to go back to people that have a company listen to this program, oil and gas business, business, whatever.
Oil and gas, lawyers, insurance, commercial banks, hospitals, engineers, architects.
Well,
CPAs.
But if you're any kind of business that has constant customers and businesses,
wealth advisors.
This is the gift.
Yeah, it's a wonderful gift. This is the thing I tell people all the time, Moon. People in Louisiana love pecans, but a good pecan, a really good pecan, is still hard to find. You can go in any grocery store in Acadiana, or for Louisiana for that matter, and you can find pecans in grocery stores, no doubt about it. But a really good, fresh pecan from this year's crop that just came off the tree a couple of weeks ago is almost impossible to find, and we sell that. And we really go an extra effort to make sure we grade our pecans, and we're only selling the very best market fresh pecans that are out there. And, of course, the coated pecans that we sell, the dark chocolate, the milk chocolate, the honey glaze, the praline, some of those ingredients that we use, just the finest ingredients, and they really make the product outstanding.
But I want people to know you do sell
natural pecans. Absolutely.
Natural pecans. And the reason we get the other ones, too, but we always buy the naturals, because people like to cook.
It's
with it. But like I said,
versatility.
you just eat them all the time. It's really good.
I need to bring my wife's recipe she does with a rosemary roasted pecan. It's the best tasting pecan I've ever had, ever. And I've had them all, and I've had them all kinds of
Brandon,
ways.
do you think he's going to remember to bring that when he didn't even remember to bring the pecan?
Oh, listen. How do y'all so this is the only way I get back on the moon show if I don't bring everything. I can't blow.
That's the problem you have. Until you come back, you may be mentioned on this program every single day.
I might come every Thursday and just bring a little bit every Thursday.
Hey, David Calicott promised to come back on his program.
What happened to
He
David?
hadn't. So guess what I did with David? I'm telling David, when are you coming back? And he won't come back now.
Maybe I'll bring David with me.
I wish you would.
Really? You want to bring David?
Yes, because when I told David when he was on here last time that y'all going to get your budget, don't worry about it. And I said, will you come back? He said, sure. And I hadn't heard back from him.
I'm going to text him right now.
You need to tell Calicott, I said, Moon wants to know when you're coming back to say, you were right. You were right about the
Listen, David and Lafayette General Health, they've been customers of Cane River. They've bought a lot of pecans for their doctors. So if you're
Me and David got something in common.
If you're a hospital executive out there, you're looking for something for Doctor's Day or doctors, we got you covered.
Yeah, but I brought him up, but you make a great example of somebody who's in a position with doctors and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not just, it's really any business. And by the way, folks,
Absolutely.
you say, well, is it affordable? Yes, because for one reason, your customers are going to love them. They're going to actually love the pecans, and they're going to love the tin. They're going to love everything about it. Trust me, I'm hearing from my people every year.
We've been doing this for a long time.
Yep.
Of many, many years. We're going to be our 50th year next year. I can't tell you the number of stories I've heard over the last 20 years of companies. Their clients will start calling them in December like, we haven't gotten our pecans yet. Like, we're still on the list, right? I mean, we're going to get our pecans, right?
I got a customer that didn't advertise with me one year. I did send them pecans. And they said, man, what happened to the pecans? I said, well, you know.
Hey, a big fat check came in.
They bought 1 month the next year. So I had to include them. Oh, I'm joking on that. I would never do that. I have actually sent pecans. I sent them out to former customers.
There you go.
And potential customers, too.
There you go.
So why not?
I love it.
Jady, one more time.
Well, listen, one more time. The website is caneriverpecan.com. That's Cane, C-A-N-E, caneriverpecan.com. And the phone number is 800-293-8710. Again, 800-293-8710. And as they say, operators are standing by. So call in.
No doubt about it. And by the way, we got the Cane River Pecan giveaway. As you can tell, we just mentioned it a few times. They're all starting to come in. So
Moon, you've been doing that giveaway for years now. And y'all send us a name every day, and those pecans go out the day they come in. They get them like 2 days later at the most.
I get more compliments. People that win get excited, but once they get the product, they all email me back saying, Moon, these are great. Yeah. I've had some of them say, I got a customer base and I'm going to order them. JD, God bless. I appreciate it. We'll see you with goods.
Real soon.
Good, yeah, because if not, we're going to burn you. Anyway, we'll be right back. Welcome back, Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. A lot to cover today. Had a little fun this morning, but the pecans are good. Anyway, 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. All right, we're down to 2. Secretary of State's race. We're joined by Secretary of State Kyle Ardoin, who, by the way, is in the runoff. And Kyle, I never paid attention. Did you end up leading, or are you in second? I really didn't look at the final number. Okay, you did. I thought you led, but I wasn't sure.
Yes, by about 12,000 votes.
Okay. Well, first of all, congratulations. I know you're excited about it, and I try to stay out of the race. I thought we had a lot of good. I really did. I mean that sincerely. I thought we had a bunch of good candidates that ran for the race, but you came on top, and then you go against the liberal Democrat. And by the way, I highly recommend everybody to go vote for you. I guess your biggest concern, and I would think as a candidate, the big concern is who's going to vote in December.
Yeah,
that has got to be the big concern of you and other candidates, but for you in particular, because I'm going to be honest with you, you ain't going to have 50%. You ain't going to have 20%. I'd be shocked if we have 10.
We may be looking at 10 to 13. You just never know. But, yeah, everybody needs to get out and vote. This is a classic Republican, Democrat, conservative, liberal race now, and that's going to be the choice in front of them on December 8th. And early voting's 2 weeks from Saturday. So it's all very quick happening.
I had to believe, though. Yeah, by the way, that's another thing. Let's say there's going to be early voting again. And number 2, did we go to a Saturday election? We got to understand that was the national day of elections. Right. Elections was 6 to 8 all over the country. Now we go to a Saturday election, and it's 7 to 8. You can't go 6 or 7, it's 7. And by the way, and I followed this, and it was confusing to me at first. Why are we voting at 6? Well, it was because it was really a Tuesday and a national election day.
Correct. The legislature chose to keep the extra hour on Tuesday elections because it's a work day when folks are used to voting on Saturdays. That isn't always a work day for everybody.
Yeah, good point. Well, what do you, I know you got to feel good about coming in. I noticed some ads that really ran hard against you, and some people were saying some things, and they had to deal with the governor, and I think the governor stuck his nose in the race because I think he had a candidate. I think it was Julie Stokes, and they canceled the deal with the voting machines, and I thought that was all to try to beat up on you, and I don't think it worked at all. None of it worked.
It didn't work, and I'm really excited that the voters, saw through all the negativity and the political play and resonated with our positive message. And sometimes positive messages work, and ours did. Our experience and our hard work in this office, and I'm looking forward to continuing the conservative fight for the people of Louisiana.
And now that you're in the runoff, if you are to be the Secretary of State, and I'll say it again, I highly recommend people go out and vote for you. If you win, is there anything that you want to change once you got the title? Now, by the way, I want to remind people, whoever wins this election, you got 1 year, you got to run again next year.
Right. That's
is
the
bad thing, I guess.
Yeah, it is. So we go right into trying to get ready for the next round. But there are things that we've already put together. I've begun putting together a legislative package. We need to make some changes. But the main thing I want to get those new machines. We have got to get the new machines so that we have the paper audit trail, so that people feel secure that their vote is being recorded correctly, and that we have an audit trail for election contests. Should there be? There's nothing wrong with the machines the way they're recording now. We test them constantly, but the equipment is wearing down, and we need to move forward on that next level of cybersecurity with those machines.
So that's the machines that was canceled that you got to rebid, I guess, is what you're going to have to do?
Well, we're waiting for the I'm not holding out hope, but we're waiting for the appeal with the commissioner and see how that goes. But otherwise, I'll have to start that process all over again.
Boy, if you do, what is that, another 6 months, a year process?
Yes. We'll be cutting it close to start phasing in new machines for the presidential election in 2020. But
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, and you're all right. We're going to go from, because we have a December runoff, and we go and then we roll right into statewide races, which you'll be involved in again, and then we're going to have a session, and then all of a sudden election. I mean, the next year is going to fly, because I know we're going to have a wild governor's race. I don't know if any of the other races will be wild, but I know that race is probably going to get pretty wild. And so you're hoping to have everything settled in by that race, or by the presidential race in 2020?
No, it would be by the presidential, because once we start the RFP process again, that's another 6 months at least, and then we would be able to start negotiating the contract. And so really this has put us back a full year on our time schedule, which is unfortunate for the taxpayers.
Yeah, well, no doubt about it. By the way, and even in that case, the bid actually went to the lowest bidder.
It did. Absolutely, it did. And it went to the company that has not had any hacking issues. They don't have any remote access to their machines, and that's what we're facing right now. This second bidder that's caused the most controversy is really the one that's got the most problems in the most states. The problems that they saw in Texas and the problems that they saw in Georgia were problems of both the losing bidders.
You're joking.
No, not at all.
Oh, my God. Well, you know as well as I do, the whole getting rid of the voting machines, that was on the governor. That was political. The people that tried to get the other ones to win, they were the ones that gave money to Edwards. I mean, look, that whole thing was so political, it wasn't even fun. It's a shame we have to go through the process again. And if the second bidders are the one caused the problem in these states, that's bad. Let me do a quick call for you. Joy, question or comment for Secretary of State Kyle Ardoin.
Yes, my question is, when you go to early vote, I'm in Vermilion Parish, the machine that you go to early vote on looks nothing like the machine when you go to the regular election day. Why is that? And can we get the same machine across the board? Because my mother, when she walked into early vote, is like, well, this is not the same machine. It's totally different. It's confusing.
Right. Yeah, the early voting machines are the newest technology that we have, and we are trying, with the RFP, we were trying to go to the same type of machine for both early voting and election day, but unfortunately we got derailed in that process. But once we get back on track on that, Joey, our intent is to have the same type of machine for both early voting and election day.
Gotcha. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
By the way, that was a great question. That was really good. And I haven't voted in my, I moved down to Lafayette in a while. I really hadn't voted at my precinct. I've been going vote early, so I just see that one set of voting. Is that what eventually all of them will look like?
Yeah, they'll all be similar to the early voting machines.
Okay, because and that's the new, and that was what the $50 million or $100 million was for, basically.
Correct. That is correct.
Well, anything else you want to add?
Just want to say that people need to get ready and go vote. Election day is going to be upon us. Early voting is 2 weeks from Saturday, so everybody needs to exercise their right, and I hope they vote for number one, Kyle Ardoin, Secretary of State.
All righty, Kyle, appreciate it.
Thank you, my friend.
All right, thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
By the way, I highly recommend Kyle. You get down to 2 candidates now, and we had some good candidates in the race, but he has to win this, folks. We don't want George Soros getting in here. All right, we got to take a quick break. By the way, Ginsburg, Supreme Court Justice Ginsburg fell, fractured free ribs. By the way, she says now that she has already hired her clerks and that she plans on not retiring ever. That's what I'm reading. All right, we got to take a break. Be right back. Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has it hotline. Cane River Pecan giveaway. All you do is email me moon@moongriffon.com. It's Griffin with an O-N. moon@moongriffon.com. And you can say, I want to win, but make sure you leave an address. You don't leave an address. We had a guy won this week, and he's kicked out. I was really ugly to him. Not really wasn't ugly to him. He's just not going to win anything because he didn't send me the address. Got to have the address. Don't do me any good if I don't have an address. We don't know where to send the pecans. I want to give it to somebody who has an address. All right. Ginsburg hospitalized after fracturing 3 ribs. Let's see. She's already hired clerks for the terms that extend into 2020, indicating she has no plans to retire. Ginsburg leads the court's liberal leftist lunatic wing. By the way, I added a few of those words, Brandon. I hope that's okay. All righty. Yesterday, Jim Acosta slamming with Trump. And I'll be honest with you, I loved it, and I'll tell you why I loved it after we play it again. Here we go.
In the midterms.
Here we go.
If you don't mind, Mr. President, that this caravan was an invasion. As you know, Mr. President,
I consider it to be an invasion.
As you know, Mr. President, caravan was not an invasion. It's a group of migrants moving up from Central America towards the border with the U.S.
Thank you for telling me that. I appreciate it.
Why did you characterize it as such?
Because I consider it an invasion. You and I have a difference of opinion.
But do you think that you demonized immigrants in this election to try to keep them?
I want them to come into the country, but they have to come in legally. They have to come in, Jim, through a process. I want it to be a process, and I want people to come in, and we need the people.
Your campaign.
Wait. You know why we need the people, don't you? Because we have hundreds of companies moving in. We need the people.
They're hundreds of miles away, though. They're hundreds and hundreds of miles away. That's not an invasion.
Honestly, you know what?
Away. That's not an invasion.
Honestly, I think you should let me run the country. You run CNN. Right. And if you did it well, your ratings would be much better.
If I may ask one other question. Mr. President, I was going to ask one of the other folks.
That's enough.
Pardon me, ma'am. Mr. President,
that's enough.
Mr. President, I had one other question, if I may ask, on the Russia investigation. Are you concerned that you may have?
I'm not concerned about anything with the Russian investigation because it's a hoax. That's enough. Put down the mic.
Mr. President, are you worried about indictments coming down in this investigation?
By the way, the woman tried to take the mic from him and he pushed her.
I'll tell you what, CNN should be ashamed of itself having you working for them. You are a rude, terrible person. You shouldn't be working for CNN. Go ahead.
I think that's unfair.
You're a very rude person. The way you treat Sarah Huckabee is horrible. And the way you treat other people are horrible. You shouldn't treat people that way. Go ahead. Go ahead, Peter. Go ahead.
In Jim's defense, I've traveled with him and watched him. He's a diligent reporter who busts his butt.
Well, I'm not
like
a big fan of yours either. So
I understand.
To be honest.
So let me ask you a question if I can. You repeatedly said...
You aren't the best.
Mr. President, you repeatedly, over the course of
just sit down, please. Well, when you report fake news, when you report fake news, which CNN does a lot, you are the enemy of the people. Go ahead.
Mr. President, over the course of the last several days of the campaign, sir, at the end of the campaign, you repeatedly said that Americans need to fear Democrats. You said would unleash a wave of violent crime that endangers families everywhere. Why are you pitting Americans? Why are you pitting Americans against one another, sir?
Peter, what are you trying to be him?
No,
Peter,
I'm just asking you a question.
Let me just tell you. Very simple. Because they're very weak on crime.
Okay. That was yesterday. A lot of people heard it and seen it. I actually heard it 4 or 5 times. I enjoyed it more every time I listened to it. Number one, invasion. The reason the president sent troops down there was to tell them you're not coming here. Brandon, that was really smart because what it did was, that thing is broke up some. Some people say it's adding whatever. He's trying to send a message to them that if they come and that they think they're going to break through like they did in Mexico, you're wrong. We're going to be ready for you. So it was a message that was sent. Is exactly the problem. Number two, I got to tell you, Acosta and the rest of these people in the press, and you watch CNN, you watch MSNBC, and you watch some of the other news organizations, they have allowed people for 3 years now to get on the air and call a president a racist. Yet there's no proof of racism. I don't care if anybody uses the N-word, because everybody I'm talking to didn't use it at one time, blacks included. That doesn't make you a racist. Number two, they call him Hitler, Stalin. Okay, they saying he's going to put people in jail and get rid of the media. He has a right. He threw, man, your buddy Acosta, he suspended his pass. His press pass is gone. He can't come in. This man, Brandon, is open to more press conferences. Remember Obama did do press conferences for months. This guy does them all the time. He lets them take reporters come into the office all the time, and all they do is try to beat him up. I mean, think about it, folks. If every day, 24/7, they try to prove that you are racist, you are communist, you are Stalin, you are Hitler. Every day they come on and tell lies about who you are. Every day, 24/7 for 3 years. Why do you think the president gets upset with him? Why they are? I believe some of the press is enemy of the state because they're not protecting the Constitution. The only part of the Constitution they protect is we got freedom of the press. We got freedom of the press. They want that protected. Okay? But if freedom of the press meant the umpires of society will call balls and strikes no matter who's at the plate, and they're not doing that. You got to be a fool not to see that most of the media is for the Democrats and for the left and for the socialists and for the that's who they for. Which makes them an enemy of the state. They ought to be protecting the Constitution. If they were protecting the Constitution, they would have been writing no Obamacare, unconstitutional. They would be saying these guys ought to not come across the border, and that President Trump's doing the right thing, but they don't do that. You can imagine getting beat up every day, and all of a sudden these little weenies in the press who are hiding under the Second Amendment, well, we got freedom of the press. Well, so you got freedom of the press, but you're not being fair. You've never been fair. I mean, you got Trapper calling Trump and them gangsters. The staffer wrestles with the microphone away from Acosta, and it's a woman, and he's real tough, so he just kind of pushes the woman out the way. It's unbelievable. The media has defamed more people that are, look what they did at Kavanaugh. Not one time on CNN do they have all the people on there going, you know what, they ought to not be doing this. The man's innocent until proven guilty. They weren't protecting the Constitution. That's how you protect the country. So if they're not protecting the Constitution, that means they're going against the Constitution. They're going against the people. And that's all Trump's saying, but they can't stand it. And they can't stand it, and they can't stand it. And so they get to hate on the President of the United States every single day in the name of the Constitution and freedom of the press. They get to hate on him every day. They get to call him a name every day. They get to talk bad about him every day. And I mean, they've said some stuff about this president, unbelievable. Unbelievable what they said about this president and against the president. And they get to do it every day in the name of freedom of the press. But freedom of the press, when the founders came up and said, okay, we're going to have somebody out there to watch what people do, was a smart thing. But it meant watch everybody. It didn't mean, okay, we're going to take sides. We love the left. We love socialism, Marxism, communism. So what we're going to do is we want to bring this country down to its knees. So what do? They call everybody racist that goes against what they think. If you think marriage is a man and a woman, you're a goon. They're now convincing us with no proof that if we could stop hurricanes coming out of Africa area, if only we would do something with man-made global warming. They buy into that. There's no truth to that. The freedom of the press has lost its way big time, and they're hurting the country, and that makes them enemy of the people. It really does. Let's go to the phone lines. A couple quick ones for the break, Brandon. Ray and Kaplan. Ray, how you doing?
Good. Acosta didn't show up for work this morning.
Why?
He was in the hospital getting Trump's foot out of his butt.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I think...
He had surgery. Yeah, I think 4 hours of surgery it took to get it out.
Well, I'm telling you right now, Trump laid him out. Trump's fighting for us. They have become enemies. Look, Acosta's doing that because, first of all, he hates Trump. And number two, he's doing it because he wants those people to come through. He didn't care about the Constitution. CNN could care less about a Constitution. They don't care about God, Constitution, families, or none of that.
Well, it's a tragic thing, and it was an invasion. I don't care. You don't come to a country in a group like that, waving your country's flag and cursing the president and want asylum. It was an invasion. There's no question about it.
Don't you think he sent people to the border knowing they were far away to tell them, hey, you better not come? That's all that was. He don't want any killings. He don't want any killings and all that stuff to go on. He wants them to go away. Go back where they belong. They don't belong here.
He put the fear of God in them, I'll tell you that. So He went back.
No doubt about it. All right, let me take one more real quick, and I think it's going to be quick. Nicole in Lafayette. How you doing, Nicole?
Hey, good morning, Moon. Real quick, question. Ever since the election, the midterms were over, you've hearing the Democrats saying we're going to subpoena, we're going to get his tax returns. Can they do all that without the Senate?
Yeah, they can have investigations on their side. It's a problem because, all they're talking about is doing this. I've never seen a House or Senate talk about this going into election and after the election or going after the president. There wasn't a Republican said that about Barack Obama. Not one. So anyway, they can go after you, but don't forget, the Senate can do the same thing. The Senate got committees, they can do the same thing. So we'll see. All right, we got to take a quick break. More to come. Moon Griffon Show. Don't go nowhere.